Guys in the room against who?
Some solid guys along the way. Sean Porter.
To be fair,
Sean Porter's daddy said I was going to stop the fight before the fight. Didn't he say that?
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean?
I think
No. What that meant was he was showing Sean that he's still the boss. There was a power struggle going on in the ring. And what did Sean do when his dad did stop the fight? What did he do? He retired and didn't tell him. Asked him when the last time he talked to his dad. The night they was in the corner. He had not spoke to him anymore.
So
there was a power struggle going on. The father wanted to prove him that he still was the boss.
So that's not
Coach James.
Like I said, at this point, it's no point of going back and forth and this, that, and the third. You got to fight the dude anyway, so let's go ahead and let him fight. I don't understand this Derrick James stuff and continuously trying to downplay Terrence Crawford accomplishments and trying to seem like he's not worthy. You know, you're going to have to fight him anyway if you want that last belt. So I don't even get the point of this. You know, and even more than that, if Terrence Crawford hasn't fought anybody and whatever and whatnot and whatever you want to say about him, this is the funny part of the whole damn thing. That you have to ask yourself if Eroll Spence is the one with the stellar resume and all that and doing all the heavy lifting, big fish, blah, blah, blah. Then you have to ask yourself that how does somebody like Terrence Crawford with his so-called low level of opposition or not fighting the big fights or whatever you want to call it, how does a fighter like that become pound for pound number one over somebody like Eroll Spence? Why is Eroll Spence not even considered number 2 or 3 in a lot of people's pound for pound? That's what you got to ask yourself. Okay? If what Terrence Crawford has done means damn near next to nothing, why is he considered by most people in the boxing world the pound for pound number 1 fighter in the world? That's what you got to ask yourself. You know, there's accolades in all kind of corners. But anyways, other than that, Derrick James got to make his mind up. See, because before it was Kenny Porter stopped the fight, was going to stop the fight before the fight and all that other stuff, basically saying the fight was fixed, whatever and whatnot. He gonna have to make his mind up. See, because before it was this was the reason Terrence Crawford won. It was Sean Porter's a shot fighter because Eroll Spence fought him and he's not the same. Which one is it? Just like I keep telling people in this digital era, you better watch what you say. Which one is it? Was it because Sean Porter stopped the fight, or was it because, was it because Kenny Porter stopped the fight, or was it because Sean Porter was a shot fighter and he was never the same after Eroll Spence fought him? Which one is it? Which one? I'm trying to understand here. And I'm going to tell you why I can't be both. It's simple. Because if Sean Porter was a shot fighter, then Terrence Crawford was going to win anyway because he was shot. Now, if you're saying that Kenny Porter stopped the fight, what difference does it make if he stopped the fight on a fighter that you said was shot, meaning he wasn't going to win anyway? So if you bring it up Kenny Porter to say that that's the reason that, the fight didn't continue and Terrence Crawford won, then you have to understand that you can't say that Sean Porter was a shot fighter. So make your mind up. Which one is it? And a lot of people talking shit about Eroll Spence fight. I'm not getting into it because you're getting to the point nowadays where it don't matter if it's a knockout. It don't matter if it's a split decision. It don't matter if it's a unanimous decision. There's always going to be some complaints and some controversy and some conspiracy theory when it comes to boxing now. I see that now. And you know what? Probably rightfully so. But I'm taking it as is and moving the fuck on because I don't want to go back and forth about no fixed fight or whatever and whatnot. It was a good fight. I enjoyed it. That's what I'm going to have to leave it as because it's always going to be some shit. When it really is and even when it's not. I thought a lot of shit that went on with Ugas was funny. But you don't see me dipping into, the fight was fixed and this and that. You know what I figured out? The majority of Eroll Spence fanatics is petty. Y'all petty. Honestly. I'm not even, the majority of y'all is petty on a weird level. These two got to fight now, so what's the point? What's the point? Talk about his resume, fix fight this, fix fight that. Is it gonna change shit in boxing? Hell no. Boxing too corrupt for that anyway. So, just like everything else, the train keeps moving on. You need to move along with it. But the shit that Derrick James talking about, man, either Sean Porter was a shot fighter, like you said, after he fought Errol Spence, or the whole thing is the great orchestration of Kenny Porter. Which one the fuck is it? Always trying to say something. But I bet you if somebody said shit about Errol Spence fight with Ugas and how he wasn't throwing punches and all this other shit, you know what I mean? I mean, y'all know. Then somebody's hating and shit. You gotta stop this bullshit. And this is even with the coaches and shit like that. You know, Derrick James act like he's so pissed off by the sound of Terrence Crawford name. He act like he's so fucking irritated. Like he the one fighting him or some shit. I don't understand. I really don't. And like I said, if it's that deep, if Errol Spence is doing that much and has done that much, not saying that he hasn't done anything. I'm not taking anything away from Errol Spence. But I'm saying at the end of the day, Terrence Bud Crawford is considered worldwide to be a better pound for pound fighter than Errol Spence Jr. with the big fish, with the resume, with the choker chain, all that shit. He's still considered a better fighter than Errol Spence Jr. That accolade alone warrants him to be chased. Period. And he's in your division. And he's a champion. That's enough. Honestly. Straight up. Honestly, because not only, this is the benefit of fighting Terrence Bud Crawford. Not only do you become undisputed, but you now have the claim to beating the number one pound for pound fighter. That's icing on top of icing. That alone is enough. Period. Plus, it's a fight that everybody wants to see, regardless of who he ain't fought this and Kenny Porter stopped the fight before the fight and all this other stuff. Man, come on. If you want to be honest about the Sean Porter fight, let's count how many low blows Errol Spence gave Sean Porter in that fight. What was it, 8, 10, 11? And the judge wasn't calling it? You still can't hide the fact that once Errol Spence got in trouble, he resorted to dirty boxing. Let's not forget about that. I mean, there's always shit to call out. But at this point, to still be talking shit about somebody that you got to fight regardless because it meets the requirements of somebody's goals in boxing is pointless. You only beating down somebody that you gonna want credit for if you beat them. I'm gonna say that again. You only beating down somebody that you want to get credit from once you beat them. The same thing I say about Wilder and Tyson Fury. Everybody wants to say Tyson Fury is the greatest fighter for beating Wilder, somebody that they didn't give no credit for having skills. Make it make sense. So obviously there was something that you respect about Wilder. And if Errol Spence beat Terrence Bud Crawford, guess what? Y'all gonna call Errol Spence a legend based off him beating somebody like Terrence Bud Crawford. But you said he ain't fought nobody. Now somebody try to bring up that and try to take away from his accolade of beating Terrence Bud Crawford. Then what you gonna say? Somebody hating. But that's what you say. He ain't fought nobody. He ain't this, and all kind of shit. But now you want credit for beating him. So people got to make their mind up when it comes to this shit. But honestly, talks like this is pointless. The fight got to happen, and Derrick James need to make his mind up. Either Sean Porter was shot or Kenny Porter stopped the fight. You can't have it both ways. Bruce Wayne, I'm out.
You got